Whether you're a surfer, natural lover, or a sports aficionado, there are many reasons to visit Brazil. It's home to beautiful beaches, great football players, and many, many natural wonders, including the Amazon, the world's largest tropical rainforest. For any world traveler, this South American giant is a must-see. The food, a culture, the dancing. But for a pilot and aviation enthusiast like me, Brazil is a special place. Not only is it the birthplace of Alberto Santos Dumont, who many say flew even before the Wright brothers. It's also home to Embraer, one of the world's largest airplane manufacturers. So when Embraer invited me to fly to Brazil on their Legacy 650 jet, how could I say no? Good food, great company, a little bit of dancing, and a flight to remember. Aviation, Brazilian style, today on Asian Air Safari. I've spent the last few days in Dubai, enjoying the city's delights and venturing out to the desert. But it's time to head west, and I'm excited for the long trip to Brazil.
Well, we're here at the Dubai International Airport. We're getting ready to go towards Cabo Verde. But today we have to make a fueling stop at Malta. We have 140 knots headwind, and just to make sure, we'll make a quick stop over there. As you can see, these guys are ready. They're almost ready to push back. Okay, we're done with refueling. So it's just a couple of minutes. We're waiting for our ADC clearance, and off we go to Malta.
If my years of flying have taught me one thing, it's to savor the journey. And since I have a long one ahead of me, that's just what I'll do. Our first refueling stop will be in Malta, a tiny group of islands nestled between Europe and Africa. Then we fly onward to the beautiful Cabo Verde, another archipelago off the coast of West Africa. And finally, after a good night's rest, we'll be off to our final destination, Brazil.
Over here, we all get window seats. It's my favorite place. I let Camille stay in the cockpit this first leg. And we're almost ready to take off. I think I gained a little bit of weight because of all this good Lebanese food.
It looks like all systems are go for Malta. And we're off. With plush seats and a great view, I can't complain. The plane is so comfortable that before I know it, we were landing in Malta.
Well, we're here in Malta. We just landed. The first thing we take away are the trash from our catering. All we're going to do here is just a refueling stop, cleaning up the aircraft, and putting additional potable water. And after this, we're going to go straight to Cabo Verde.
And just because we won't be leaving the airport doesn't mean I can't take in a bit of culture.
But what is your dialect here? What the language is?
We have our own language.
Oh, okay.
It's called Maltese, and it's a mix of Arabic, Italian, and a little bit of English, which reflects the geographical position of the island in the middle of everywhere. You know.
Yes.
So
That's why you say ciao.
But it's only spoken here. But originally, that's not a Maltese word. That's an Italian.
Of course.
It's derived from Italian.
Buongiorno.
I mean, the proper Maltese word is, صحة. صحة is an Arabic for health.
It's going to take a lot more than a quick refueling stop to learn Maltese. I hope Portuguese will be a bit easier. In the meantime, we're upward and onward with a full tank of fuel.
Well, we've landed here in Cabo Verde. We're going to stay overnight and hopefully we'll have time to check out the place. When I came in last night, I didn't realize how beautiful this place is. I'm in Sao Island, in the Cabo Verde group of islands. We're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean in West Africa. I wish I can stay longer, but I'll have to go and rush on to Brazil.
Still, I'm sure I can squeeze in a few minutes to admire Sal's sandy beaches. Sal is Cabo Verde's geologically oldest island, formed 50 million years ago during a volcanic eruption. Today, Sal has an incredibly rich marine life. Tropical fish, dolphins, and turtles. No wonder so many fishermen are out this morning. It feels like time slows down as I chat with the fishermen and take in life on this tiny island. Everyone is speaking Portuguese, so it's good practice for Brazil. I'd happily stay longer, but South America beckons and it's time to go again. We're headed to our final destination, Sao Jose dos Campos, home of Embraer and the Legacy 650. Less than 10 hours of flying time left, enough for a good night's sleep.
Well, this is one of the few private jets that allows you to sleep with privacy. This is so comfortable.
Traveling on Embraer's Legacy 650 is truly luxurious. Delicious food served with a smile by our flight attendant, Christine. Coming up, old and new friends and an introduction to Brazil's culinary delights. Next on Asian Air Safari. The city of Sao Jose is uniquely centered around aviation. As the headquarters of Brazil's aviation powerhouse, Embraer, it's not easy to find someone who isn't connected within a couple of degrees to the airplane industry. The city may not be the bustling tourist magnet that Rio de Janeiro is, but I'm excited to discover the charms of this community of aviators. But first, I'll need to replenish my energy with good food. I'm meeting my friend Andre and his friends for dinner. Andre works for Embraer in Singapore, but he's home for a visit and says I can't miss Brazilian seafood.
Hey, Andre.
Hello, Joy. Good to see you.
I'm happy to be here.
Wow, welcome to Brazil. Welcome to San Jose.
Thank you for the invitation.
This is my friend Vinicius
Hi, Vinicius. Pleased to meet you.
and Viviane.
Hi, Vianney.
They suggested this restaurant for us to
Looks
have
very
dinner.
nice. Looks very nice.
Please.
Okay. Bali.
Mirante do Paraiba specializes in paella and muqueca, a traditional Brazilian seafood stew.
Very good.
Yeah, it's very good. Very tasty.
The manjubinha is a nice snack to whet the appetite, but the real stars of the evening are the seafood stews.
So now we have two different dishes here.
Yes.
We have the muqueca and the peixe baiana. Both of them are from the northeast of Brazil, the state called Bahia. And this one, the basic difference here is that this one is more spicy than this one.
I see.
But they are both fishy with red sauce, it's tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce.
Yeah, and kind of Brazilian spices, some herbs. They are really good. You will join it.
Tomato, onions, garlic, shrimp, fish, herbs and spices slow cooked and simmered It smells delicious.
On the side, I tried. Okay, I'm ready for this. Yeah. I put a little bit of this piron.
Good.
Very good. Yeah.
Okay.
The moqueca and pesca bahiana are rich and filling. We cap off the evening with good conversation and a little bit of music and celebration. A great first night in Brazil. The next morning, Andre and I head over the sprawling Embraer headquarters, the heart of Brazil's aviation industry and lifeblood of the town of Sao Jose.
Not only did I get to fly the Legacy 650, I get a chance to see how these airplanes are made here in the Embraer headquarters in Brazil. Just this year alone, they have delivered over 220 aircraft. This would be an interesting day. I should go and check this whole plant out.
In fact, the place is so huge, we have to ride around in a van. But I don't mind, there's so much to see. But first, I'll be meeting with Embraer Executive Vice President Mauro Kern.
So, I'd like to introduce you to Mauro Kern.
Very nice meeting you. Welcome. Welcome to Embraer.
Thank you for the invitation.
Good.
I'm happy to be here.
It's a pleasure.
With a few hours that I've been here in San Jose dos Campos, I'm really impressed with how much the people that I meet are all working with Embraer.
Yes, San Jose dos Campos has been the home of Embraer for 40 years now. The Embraer history starts long before, in the late 40s, with the creation of a university devoted to graduate aeronautical engineers. San Jose has been the home of the aerospace industry in Brazil. Most of the people are somehow involved in the aerospace industry, involved with Embraer in the end.
This is like Boeing Field in Seattle, Cachina Costa with Augusta, and you're here.
Something nice about this is that everybody's very proud of somehow being involved with aviation, with building airplanes. Airplanes are still something magic, right? That brings a lot of pride and interest in many people.
And as I walk around the grounds, I can feel the sense of pride and magic. People are so focused. It's hard to believe how the company has come in the 40 years it's been around. Not only is it one of Brazil's largest exporters, it's also one of the world's largest airplane manufacturers. Walking through the hangars for planes ready for delivery makes me wish one of these were mine. Before we know it, it's time for lunch. So we head over to the cafeteria, which is packed. The meat, rice and beans are very tasty, like a home-cooked meal. No wonder this cafeteria is so popular. I wouldn't mind working here.
We just finished lunch and everybody's out here. The whole facility is like a city in itself. The employees can get their car insurance, they can get their medicine, they can go take their coffee, they can do almost everything within the compound of Embraer. And most important of all, of course, they have a bank.
A cup of coffee doesn't sound like a bad idea, but we can't stay because we're in for a treat. We get to watch a 3D plane inspection tour. Embraer's modern facilities are indeed very impressive, but the foundations for its success were laid decades ago. And part of understanding Embraer is understanding its history. So after a short rest, Andre had a special introduction to make.
Hola!
Andre's friend, Jose Kovacs, is an aeronautical engineer and a true aviator. Born in Hungary, he came to Brazil when he was 23, long before the days of Embraer. His career includes 17 years at Embraer and 57 airplane designs, one of which was made into a plane, the legendary Tucano, a Brazilian Air Force training plane.
Those are the airplanes that you designed, right?
Yes,
Tucano.
Tucano, but the Super Tucano.
I will always remember the first time I saw the Tucano fly at the Paris Air Show. It is truly an honor to meet its lead designer and spend time at his workshop. But just as inspiring is the fact that at 84 years old and long retired, he's still working on planes and is more than happy to talk about his project.
He's saying that it's not professional, it's amateur, and with home built with very little resources, but they build many airplanes this way.
Composite here. Composite. Carbon.
Carbon, very honeycomb.
Honeycomb.
Doing something not because it's your job, not for the money, but because you love it, that's real passion and dedication. And when I see someone passionate about aviation, I can't help but feel an instant connection. When it's time to go, Jose tells me that perhaps we'll meet in the next lifetime. I'm sure we will. There's plenty more to do. Coming up, the king of all Brazilian meals, and San Jose lets its hair down. Next on Asian Air Safari. It's been all planes all day. We've worked up quite an appetite. Good thing Andres taking me for a special early dinner. Traditional Brazilian barbecue known as churrasco. And in San Jose, the churrascaria to go to is Villa de Aldea. The place is huge, with waiters milling about offering all sorts of different cuts of meat. Beef, pork, and even fish. Eat all you can. Andre and I are both starving, so we immediately head for the salad bar to prepare our palates for the never-ending feast of succulent meats to come.
Well, Andre, what is your recommended portion or part of the barbecue?
Okay, I think the barbecue, at least that I most like, is the picanha. Is the number 7, that is the rump steak.
Take what you're taking.
Okay, so we try the picanha. It's the most famous actually in Brazil. All Brazilians, they love picanha.
I almost feel like I'm Brazilian, you know? Guarana and eating in churrascaria. How do you pronounce it?
Churrascaria.
Churrascaria.
Yes, churrascaria is the place that we do the churrasco. Churrasco is barbecue.
Barbecue.
Yes, in Portuguese we call churrasco. And this is the best churrascaria in the city. So I hope you enjoy.
Just by talking about it, I'm already getting hungry.
Great. So to start, we just turn the red into green, and they will start serving